And there we go. Microphone is on. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board today. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. And it is a lovely Sunday here, fairly quiet. Wow, I guess, for the most part. On occasion we get loud vehicles going by ruining the day, but other than that, we're all right. Doing good here in Edmonton, temperature about 15 degrees Celsius for a lovely Sunday afternoon. And of course it is October the 16th, and Sharon Stewart says, I hear you. Thanks, Sharon, I appreciate that. And same with all those other welcomes from all you other people, and welcome to all of you. Glad to have you on board today. Not a heck of a lot going on though, being very honest. We do see some extra quakes in Iceland, and got to keep an eye on Katla. We'll see what that transpires to, and what happens with that. And other than that, really not too much going on elsewhere. Our wonderful Stromboli has calmed right down and not giving much of a show anymore, unfortunately. But hey, it is what it is. We cannot, control those darn volcanoes. Only the lava workers can. Anyway, getting on to things, welcome first off to our wonderful moderators. I do see Piggy is in here already, and she ran off to go get a coffee, which is all right. We don't mind that. And nice to have Piggy on board, and hope she does get a schnauzer. I really like schnauzers, and she's thinking that might be the right kind of cuddly dog for her. and they are beautiful little dogs. Even the giant Schnauzer is absolutely gorgeous. The whole breed of the Schnauzer is really a nice dog. They are a family-oriented dog. The larger ones can be somewhat protective and all that nice stuff, but hey, it is what it is, and I hope you do get one, Piggy, because they are an exceptionally good dog. And I'm not just saying that because they're a German dog, or, well, I like them. Not much bias there. Anyway, welcome to Piggy, and then, of course, Arizona Snowman, probably hiding in the background there somewhere. Glad to have him on board, as well as our wonderful C&D boy and Gary, 24/7 Live AZ Skies, also in the house somewhere in the background and hiding, which is all right. And let's see, who else? We may have Lucas, and we may have Joseph Fields of, what's he call himself now? Joseph Fields, Texas. So glad that the moderators are in the background. And on the, yeah, shh, quiet, Gary, don't say anything. Anyway, we'll catch everybody here in a second. First off, Hermian Schaefer, first one in today. Hermian gets the cookies. Yay, Hermian, and thank you for being prompt. That is awesome. And Chuckster throws me a Pepsi. Hey, right on. I like that. Anyway, we'll get at saying hello to everyone in here right now. I see we're at 28 and climbing, so all good. And of course, we'll start out. We already got Hermian. Sasha is in here. Dave Cruck also in the house. John Raper made it in. Chuckster, thank you for the Pepsi. Sharon Stewart, who can hear me, thank you. Sue Hayes is also here. Kananaska's Country made it in. Good to see you. King Colin Deadman also here, as well as Kevin Haynes. And going up a little bit more, looking for other good names. Who else we got? Did I say John Raper? We got Sherry Hewitt. Sherry is back. She must have been busy for a couple of days. Glad to see you, Sherry. And good to have you on board. And I hope you got that beautiful picture hung up on your wall. That would really be nice. That is awesome. And thanks for sharing that with everyone here. And going up a little bit more and looking for more wonderful names. And we got Sherry Hewitt. We got John Scott Hartman. I don't know if I said your name, but welcome, Scott. Glad to have you here. And let's go up a little bit more, looking for more names. Dave Cruck, yep, we got you already. Kananaska's Country, we got. And going up more, looking for more other names. Boy, chatty bunch, though. Like that. It's all good. And that's what we want to see. Definitely. Because it means that, you know, we're a happy lava family. Okay, Frank McLeod also here. I don't know if I mentioned your name yet, but welcome. Glad to have you on board. And sliding up some more, looking for others. And Rachel Carr made it back in. Welcome, Rachel. A long time no see, and glad you're back. Arliss Scott also here. Good to have you on board. Phil also made it in. Phil said, though, when I'm well, I'll chat away. Bye for now. Okay, no worries, Phil. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. And glad to have you hiding in the background anyway. All good. And going up a little bit more, looking for other wonderful people that we see on our list here. And I'm all the way to the top, don't see anybody else. So very good for now. Going back down to the bottom. I've been recovering from a minor surgical procedure on my back, so wasn't feeling too great. Okay, Sherry, I hope your recovery is swift and fast, and you'll be up and dancing in no time. And that should be, hopefully you'll be okay with that. And Anyway, all good. That's it for now for names, I think. I don't see anyone else popping in there. I think we got everyone that was in. So, cool. DJ Puff the Third just made it in as well. So, welcome. And Alba Girl just got here. Oh, Dr. Fox, we got sort of rain yesterday. Oh, you did get a little bit more rain. Okay, that is excellent, and good to hear that you got at least a little bit there, and hopefully it'll be good. Sorry, I can't respond to everyone, but oh yeah, sure, Frank. What's the matter with you? Can't respond to everybody? Oh, there's only 38 people in here. What are you talking about? It's wonderful. I know it's hard, and you know when I first start the show or bring it online without the microphone being on, well, I feel kind of rude when people say hi to me and I don't respond to them, and then of course I say hi to everyone afterwards when I start the show, and it's kind of one of those things. You know, do I spend a lot of time typing beforehand? I'm kind of busy doing things, setting things up, and it makes it a little difficult. So it's one of those things, but glad to have you on board, and we know what it's all about. So anyway, let's get at the show and see what's going on, and we'll go from there. Let me see if we can find the right places to start here. We'll park our canned lava for right now, and I'm glad that can is a very, very big can. So we'll stop that for a second. There we go, and we'll turn off the banners, and there we go. And that is what Reykjavik is looking like right now. Unfortunately, not the greatest of weather, but we'll pop back 6 hours ago, and that is in Iceland, of course, and that's kind of what it looked like there. So not bad, but we do see those darkish clouds, and I'm sure that is going to cause some rain for them. And the other view, of course, looks really, really foggy, and it was even foggy and wet and rainy earlier, like that shot, and that's kind of not so good. But let's have a look at the other one out by Katla. Right now we know it's dark there, and I'm going to go back, I think, about 8.5 hours here, and have a quick look. There you can see Katla off in the ice under the clouds on the back side there on the right hand side. So pretty awesome to see that shot, but it definitely is not the greatest of weather there. It is fall, and that is kind of what we get no matter what we do there. The other shot, though, I don't think we can see much on it. We'll see if it comes back to life. And nope, all we see is one light there, and not sure what that's about. But that's it on that one. Unfortunately, we can't go back on that one. This one we can, though. Anyway, I'm putting that back to live so I know where I left it, and the same thing with these other ones. And we'll get them all into a place. And that is what Reykjavik is looking like right now. So live shots from there, always good. And let's get over to the harmonic tremor chart, and we'll carry on and take a look and see what's going on there shaker wise. And we do see some interesting spikes showing up here on our chart. I'm actually going to refresh that one. It's not that old, but we'll make sure we got the prim and proper up-to-date stuff here. And what we're seeing is a slight decline, downward trend. Always interesting to see that, but those spikes are definitely there, indicating that we've had some earthquakes in the area, and they're obviously not as big as these ones, or they're further away, but we'll take a look and see what we can find. The one here should be just before noon, and the other one probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock or something like that, or thereabouts. So I'd say about 10:15 or something, and the other one at possibly about 1:15, or roughly. Just looking at the dots along the line here, it's hard to divide these up properly time-wise, but that's what we're seeing there. And let's go slide down a little bit. And one of the things I noticed when I did look at this, we have a couple extras on some of the other charts here, and I kind of went, okay, what's going on? How come that one's right off the chart? And they're looking pretty interesting. Anyway, we're going down looking at the Grimsey one, which is on the other end of the island, or actually it's not on the island, it's actually on another island, the island of Grimsey. And there we see a definite decline, as in signals are going way down. So that's what happened. We do see a couple of little spikes there roughly at the same time. Kind of makes you wonder if they noticed some of the quakes as well. And carrying on, looking at the one from Grindavik, we do see a couple of extra or different spikes there in Grindavik, different sizes, and that kind of makes you wonder. And they too are on a decline for the most part, unfortunately. So that's what we're seeing right now. I'm going to slide back up to the Fragedalfjord chart, and we'll leave it on there. That way we can always get back to it. Let's have a quick peek at the earthquakes. And of course, right away when you look at that earthquake map, you go, look, there's a 3 over here, and there's a 3.8 something over here, and wow, so that's right on top of Katla. Anyway, we'll work our way over to it in a second or two, and we'll start up on the top here by Grimsey and see what we've got going on. Some fresher ones up top, 1.7, 13.3 kilometers down from 1956. Sounds like the same song as yesterday, except for it is today. Then we have a 1.8, 10.5 kilometers down from 1834. 2.0, 11 kilometers down from 1659, 2.7, 10.5 kilometers down from 2242 yesterday. And then this one here is also from yesterday from 2033. It's a 1.8, 13.5 kilometers down, and a newer or fresher 2.2, 8.9 kilometers down. 1536 was the time on that. Of course, there's the island of Grimsey, just so you're aware of it. And yes, they do have an actual airport there and a seaport, a small one. But notice we're not seeing as many quakes out in this area at all. This 1.6 is 14 quakes, 14 kilometers down. Yeah, it's 14 quakes down. No, 14 kilometers down. 1714 was the time on that. 1.88, 9.467 kilometers down from 37 minutes after midnight. And there we've got 1.5, 5.5 kilometers down from 1252 for him. And then we've got from 2:37 in the morning, 1.76, 9.5 kilometers down. And this 1.8 should be shallower. Yep, it is. 1.82 and 4.2 kilometers down from 7:41 this morning. Zooming out just a tad, let's grab some of these other ones here. 1.25, 8.8 kilometers down, 8:07 a.m. for that one. Then we've got this 1.76, 3 kilometers down from 10:23. And that gives you a little bit of an idea of what's going on up in the top there. Let's slide down here very close to Asja. And Asja had a few little ones, and nothing really major that would make you think things are going to blow up. Hey, Alba Girl is here. Judy McClelland also in the house. Welcome, you guys. Kananaska's country. I think I said hi to you already. And I think I got everyone else that's snuck in there. If I did miss your name, I will get you eventually. Anyway, 1309.7, 7.7 kilometers down for that one. Very small 0.2, 4.9 kilometers down, 2307 yesterday. This one also, no, this is 24 minutes after midnight, so I thought it was yesterday, but that's okay. 7.72 and 721 meters down, a little bit shallower, interesting. And then we have from 19 minutes after midnight, 0.45, 2.5 kilometers down for that one. So that's right next to Astja. And then we have a couple over here as a 0.77, 7.666 kilometers down. And that is 5 a.m. And then the other one, 3:26 a.m., 0.71 at 5.9 kilometers down for him. And that is kind of what we see up in the Astja area. Let's keep working our way down. And this one is kind of out in no man's land. I don't know what we want to call that, but this is where Grimsvatn is down here. So we'll look at that in a second. 9:48 a.m., 1.2, 5.2 kilometers down for him. Then we see this, 2.38, very close to the surface, 135 meters down, was yesterday, 21:52. Then we had a 1.4, and that was 1.39 kilometers down, 1:42 a.m. for him. And we'll zoom in a little bit more, split these up. Here's an older one from yesterday, 2217, 1.59, and that is 817 meters down. And this one here is a 1.4 from yesterday as well, 2217, and 800 meters down for him. Let's see what the new ones are. 1558 was the time on that, magnitude 1.77. And it is 3.33 kilometers down. And this one, 1558, 1.25, 3.234 kilometers down. And that is what we see there at Grimsvatn, and not too much else. We've got this 1.5, 2.8 kilometers down from yesterday at 2052. And then we get into the nasty ones, and that is right on top of Katla, pretty much. We'll grab these ones on the outside here first, just to take a look and see what they're doing. This one, 2100 yesterday, 1.9, 5.2 kilometers down. And then we've got this 2.2 from today at 427, 5.2 kilometers down. And then we've got this one, 1.6 and 135 meters down, happen at 1:51 a.m. And did we get that 2.4, 5.2 kilometers down from yesterday, 2057 for that guy. And now we're looking at the ones here at Katla, and Katla is right there in the middle. This is an older one, 2019 was the time on it. And it was at it was a magnitude 2.3, 5.2 kilometers down. Let's grab this 0.91, 135 meters down from 1509, and that is interesting. And now let's see, we'll do that big one first, 3.84, and that is very, very close to the surface, 135 meters down, and that was from 11:50 a.m. And kind of makes a guy wonder what the heck is happening there. Looking at these other ones down below, 11:58 for this 1.29, also same depth, 135 meters. This 0.4 was from 1416, and it was 1.1 kilometers down. And let's see, we'll grab this guy, 2.79, 135 kilometers down, 4:34 in the morning. And let's zoom in just a little bit more so we can get some of these other ones. 2.95 in magnitude, again, 135 meters down, 7:54 a.m. for that one. Just above it, 1.72, and that was from 1150, same depth. Here's another one, 1155, 2.83, same depth. And then we've got this one from 1246, 2.05, same depth, 135 meters. 1155, 2.76, same depth again. And there we go, another one, 1233, 1.84, again, 135 meters down. This 2.44, same thing, 135 meters. 1152 was the time on him. This 0.2 though was 1.1 kilometers down from 1250 today. And there's another 3.03, 135 meters down, and that was from 1226. And then we have a 2.45, same depth, and that is 1223. So that's kind of what we're seeing at Katla, and that makes you wonder, what are we going to have happen there? And, that could be an eruption in the works. Everybody was always saying, oh, Grimsvatn, and I'm kind of going, maybe Katla, never mind Grimsvatn. Anyway, let's take a look at some of these other ones a little closer to our area of interest, of course, and ours is, of course, this one over here, Fragger del Fjeld, and that's the one we prefer to see all our shakers at. And we want to see an eruption, of course. And the reason we want that place is because we know, one, it's accessible. Number two, it's not going to harm anyone from, where it is. And, there won't be any loss of property or lives or anything like that, unless somebody is stupid and jumps into the lava. But other than that, it's pretty safe, and it makes for a good show, right? Anyway, let's take a look at some of these quakes in the northern end of the Reykjanes Peninsula. From 5:25 in the morning, 0.95, 3.7 kilometers down for him. This one, 5:28 a.m., 1.52, 4 kilometers down for that guy. Then we have a 1.2, 4 kilometers down, 5:26 this morning. And then 5:26 for that one as well. 0.41 as 4.7 kilometers down for him. And then is 0.2 over here, 4.2 kilometers down from 1306. And going down a little bit, we see a 1.14, 5.6 kilometers down from 330 this morning. And then a very small 0.1, 4.7 kilometers down from 1140. And now getting right out onto Reykjanes Peninsula. You notice there's nothing around here, no quakes. We're not seeing anything at Krusavik at all. And we only see one here. And that is, of course, in our Fragger del Fjeld area. That would be probably up high there somewhere, on top of the southwestern flanks of Fragger del Fjeld, from the old area up high. Anyway, 9:46 was the time on this, and magnitude 0.85, or pardon me, 0.82, 3 kilometers down for that guy. And of course, there's Grindavik, and we have this one here. The Blue Lagoon is here. Okay, so that's the Blue Lagoon. There's the power plant and the hotel, and then we have that quake over here, a little further away from it, and then normal, but hey, that's all right. 1207 was the time on that one, a 1.37 in magnitude, just about 4.3 kilometers down for him. And that is the land-based ones over here. And now we will take a look at the other ones that were in this little cluster. And that is 2.1, 7.5 kilometers down, 819 was the time on that one. 2.98, just about a 3, 13.6 kilometers down, 8:15 a.m., and then we've got a 2.47, 15.5 kilometers down from that is 8:19 a.m., and then we have 8:19 again, 2.68, 11.7 kilometers down. Grandma B, thank you, and that I got it. 2.7 there, 6.1 kilometers down, 18 and 19 was the time on that guy. And again, these are kind of going across the grain here, and I'm always wondering why they do that out here. There may be something geologically displaced there, some kind of the ridge may be going in, that kind of thing, a Z pattern or Z pattern, depending on where you're from. That's kind of what I'm thinking is happening in that rock underneath. Anyway, at 8:19 we had this magnitude 3, and that was 3.9 kilometers down. And that is it for the earthquakes there in Iceland. And that is pretty cool, pretty interesting, and nice to see. The one in Katla, bigger one. I don't know if Katla will go off, though. It would be a 5-minute warning. Dr. Fox, 5-minute warning. Thank you, Piggy. And that's kind of funny. Oh, I like it. Anyway. All right, looking at, we really don't need to look at the other map. It looks pretty, though, with the stars on there. I always like that, and pretty awesome. But you do see what's going on there, and pretty nice. And they're actually showing some other ones on here as well, near the one near that 3, or unless they missed one out here further. What are they showing this guy as? Oh, I gotta zoom in a little bit more to see that. Okay, they've got slightly different readings. This one was only a 2.94 on the other one, so I'm surprised it's showing up as a 3 on this map. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. Oh, come on, you guys. Want me to zoom right in on it, then I can't look at the other ones. There we go. And yeah, they're calling it a 3, and the other map was a little bit less, but that's okay. They're a little bit different with their map, and they're not showing the other one further out, so kind of makes you wonder what their sensors are picking up. But nonetheless, I'm sure we've had some good shakers there, and that's kind of what we are seeing right now. We'll leave it be, and let's take a look at what else we got going on here. Quick shot over to the Azores really quickly, and of course we'll try to get that out of the way before the break. You can see the lights of Pico Island over there. We are on the island of São Jorge, or if you want to say it in Portuguese, São Jorge. São Jorge, if I said it right. Anyway, that shot normally looks like this during the day, just so you get the better idea. Those lights down in the harbor are really making it bright, and obviously you can see where the Pico Island is across the strait there, and Mount Pico, or Mount Montana as they call it on the map, and that of course is Pico Volcano. But that's not the one of concern. The one of concern is the one that is on São Jorge, the island that we're on. And let's turn that one back off, and we will take a look at our little cove. And it is showing a bunch of white water down here today. That ocean has got to be pretty rough, and that is what we're seeing. A lot of splashing going on. Don't go out there with a little boat. You need the big boat. Okay, quick shot at what we've got for earthquakes, and we'll take a look at that. 2.2 from 3:15 a.m. and then we have 1.6 from 22:54. According to this map, let's pop over to the other map real quick. I'm going to do another refresh on it. We did have some extra quakes in the area, so it's kind of what we're looking for here is to see what else we had. And there we go. We're seeing a few of the other ones, and I'm kind of wondering, all right, what's going on, because we're not seeing that one on St. George that's beside it. And that is 22 hours ago, 2.1 there. But we're also seeing 4 quakes down in this area, and of course, right on the fault line here, 5 hours ago, 2.6. And then we have 24 hours ago, 2.2. 41 minutes ago, 2.7, and 44 minutes ago, 2.4. And let's zoom back out of that. And I thought there was another quake. They may have taken it off. There was another quake out here that might have been from yesterday still. But that is what they are showing on this particular map. Let's slide down and just see what we've got. Yeah, that other one 22 hours ago, St. George, might have been that one there. But we do see the other 3, and they are definitely on the map. And quick peek here, with the exception of the one, they were all at the surface. So that is what we've got there. It is time for a break, though, you guys. I'm going to put you back on the canned lava for in the meantime, right there. We'll turn that little time or date thing back on, and that should be good. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out and give it a quick bop if you're enjoying the show. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. And on that friendly note, I'm going to go take a break for about 5 minutes or so. Don't go away, lots more show to come, and keep smiling, play nice in the lava, and no throwing lava balls at each other. That really hurts. I'll be back, you guys, and here comes some music, hopefully, if it all works. Again, we'll see. I'll be back. And the microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board. Welcome back, Daddy Dr. Fox. Thanks, Piggy. And thanks, Sue and John and Alba Girl and 5x5 from BMAT. Welcome, BMAT. And thanks, Kananaskis Country and John Raper and Hermione, thank you, and Colin, thanks everyone for the welcome backs. Anyway, we'll carry on, and I'm surprised Sharon Stewart didn't say I can hear you yet. I'm sure she will. She's probably busy or something. Anyway, and all right, let's turn the great to hear you giggle. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm trying to stay in good spirits here and keep smiling, all that nice stuff. And old mummy of hamsters is here, and glad to have you on board as well. And same thing with Trev T, the Winky Wonky Donkey. And speaking of Winky Wonky Donkey and all those darn carrots, if you saute them slowly and just a little bit of oil and saute them in a frying pan until they start to get a little bit on the tender side, and you add some brown sugar, and I'll let that simmer for a little while with a lid over it or steaming itself. That turns out really, really good, and you should try that, and it will it really does make the carrots taste good. But you got to slice them and chop them and all that stuff. Not really small pieces, but nice pieces. But hey, try that. It's good. I've done it. It works. Brown sugar and all good. Anyway, let's carry on with our wonderful stuff that we've got going on. And we did the Azores, so let's pop over to Popocatépetl and see what that is doing. And of course, in the clouds, so we can not see a part of it, especially the top business end that is not visible right now, unfortunately. But if we go back in time and time traveling here, we do see the volcano. This is about 4 hours ago roughly. Being a little bit better now. I'm not sure what the heck that is. Is that snow up there? I don't think it is. It looks more like a cloud hugging the mountain. But we'll go back a little more and see. And yep, it must have been, because it's not in this picture. So no snow on Popocatépetl, a good sign. And this is about 6 hours ago. There we go. And it basically is smoking to about this degree for the most part all day long. Just about 8 hours ago here, same thing. And we get into our nighttime scene, and look at all those stars in the background. That is just lovely. And a beautiful looking picture. I'm surprised they got as many stars showing as they do. We do still have moonlit areas here, and of course the moon being up, giving us some extra light there. So very nice. And let's see if we can get back a little bit more here. There was a spot where it kind of puffed out. I wanted to hit right around here, and there you're seeing some of that lovely lit up by the moon, the smoke coming out, and it did plume over the edge a little bit, and of course that gas just going right down the hill, and that's kind of right down the down elevator, if you will. And that is what it was looking like. So not a bad night or day for them. There was a couple more here. This is about 13 hours and 16 minutes ago, 1:17 a.m. Their time, and that's what we were seeing. Just little puffs of smoke, but again, very clear sky for a change. and looking pretty awesome for those good people down in Mexico. And of course, Popocatépetl is approximately 70 kilometers south of Mexico City. Here's the other angle, and of course you can see it too is in clouds. But if we go back about 4 hours, that's kind of what it looked like there. You can see a little bit of the gray stuff coming out of the caldera at that point, but not a heck of a lot. And it was kind of quiet for the most part. Again, getting into the wee hours. That is the nighttime view of it on this particular camera shot from 6:30 in the morning. So pretty awesome looking though, and I do like seeing the stars. And let's carry on. We'll move on to our next volcano, and I don't think we're going to see this one at all. I did look to see if we could find anything on Fuego, and Fuego has been in the clouds for the last pretty much the entire 12 hours that we had it on here. There was one spot that it actually did light up a little bit, and the cloud had thinned out just a tiny bit, and right about there, and that was at 3:09 a.m. Let's see if we can get that to the actual eruption here. 3:10. Wow, you can almost see it. And you know, almost counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and volcanoes, right? Anyway, wow, there it is. A little bit of the goodness coming out. So we know the candle is lit. It's just we're not seeing a heck of a lot because of the clouds in there. And that is it for Fuego. I'm going to put that back on live. There we go. And hey, Arizona Snowman, good to see you. Next one on our list, Momotombo. And you can see it off-gassing, pluming out a little bit. Not doing a heck of a lot, but at least we know there is some minor activity there. And that is all right. And that is down in Nicaragua. Next one, of course, is one that is still got the old picture, unfortunately. So Messiah not showing us anything good right now. And oh darn, okay, San Cristobal was a nice looking picture, very cloudy, and it looks like they are getting rained out there right now, so I'm not going to worry about them. And carrying on, let's pop over to our next one, and that is Merapi, which also will not make us happy. It too is full of clouds and all kinds of different things. Just got to find it, find the gray screen. Anyway, that is what we are seeing there, 3:47 a.m. And that was kind of the way it was for the most part. I think just about all the way through. I'm just looking here to see if there was any open times that we've seen it other than there. We do see it on the other shot. The one angle did show a little bit there, but that's a different angle. Of course, on the other side, we're looking at it through the clouds, so unfortunately don't see a heck of a lot. And that was kind of it. And yeah, going all the way back. And that's kind of what we've seen all night long. This is back to 3 o'clock the day before, and there really wasn't anything there to see or talk about. So let's continue and move on. Hey, Yvonne Kunkel is here. Welcome, Yvonne. I'm glad to have you on board. And let's see, who else popped in? We got old Mummy of Hamsters. Yep. And the Wonky Donkey is all right. What's he saying? Dr. Fox needs Night Moth to say, yuck, I'm a donkey, raw carrots, please, or I will send Pop it. Yeah. Oh, come on, those cooked carrots are for humans. The donkeys can have them raw. I don't mind. Anyway, looking at what we've got there. Um, hey, DJ Puff reset his membership there for 6 months, and thank you. And not feeling the best right now on a tram home. All right, be good, be safe, and try to rest and relax, DJ. When you get home, maybe just lay yourself down. Anyway, that is the cloudiness there at Ruapehu in New Zealand. So we're not going to see a heck of a lot there. And we'll put that back to live, and just so you can see. Yep, really not much difference. They're going to get rain and possibly some snow up top on Ruapehu. We'll likely see that tomorrow again and see it having some new snow. And let's carry on here. Next volcano, of course, is Semeru. And yeah, boy, Semeru, not good. Not good. You look at, they moved the picture over here, by the way, and looking at that river, you know, where the vehicles were crossing, it is a definite no-go now. That has turned into a full flooded river. So I really don't recommend driving your vehicle across there. Unless you have a boat, it's not going to be very good. Even amphibious vehicles will have difficulty with the current flowing through there and the size of that river now. So definitely not doing well. And if we go back a little bit and take a look at some of that, the reasoning behind that, you see it right there, is that wonderful rain. And that was a bunch earlier. The river wasn't quite as deep yet, but it did get a lot deeper after all that hydrogen, what is it, dihydrogen monoxide came down. Rain, okay, water. Anyway, looking pretty lovely, and unfortunately it doesn't do us any good to be able to see the volcano. Let's move it back a little bit more. This is before the flooding really took place, but you can see the raindrops are just immense as they're coming down, and of course that's what made it not passable there for those good folks. So we'll leave that one be. We'll pop over to our next one. And actually, I'm going to put that back on live so I know where it is. There we go. There's that river again. And of course, all that water is draining out. And yep, it is not good for them. Wow. I'm sure it'll quit raining and be nice here for a while. But it'll probably take a few hours before that river calms back down. And that'll be quite a mud hole to try to drive through if that's what they want to do. So that road they were driving through is really a riverbed. Yeah, it is the riverbed. Right now, it's a complete river. So there is no driving through it unless you're absolutely crazy. And like I said, even an amphibious vehicle would have a lot of difficulties going through there right now. Let's pop over to another one of our wonderful volcanoes, and that is kind of showing grayish clouds there too. And of course, that is Sakurajima. Sakurajima is in Japan, southern end of the main island area there, and that is kind of what we're seeing there right now. Even when we backed up, it is early there. It is only just about 6 o'clock in the morning. And if we go back, looking at the nighttime, going back a couple of hours, the cloud was about the same. So even further back, the visibility was worse and worse and worse. And we really couldn't tell if there was any activity happening there. You know, to me, it almost looks like there might be a little bit of a glow right there. but I really can't tell. Even if we go forward a little bit, it does not look like we can really see too much happening there. You know, every on occasion you can see it glowing a little bit, but there's also some other lights reflecting off the camera lens, so very difficult to really judge as to what is really happening. If we go back a little bit more, we see this before the change in direction from the wind currents there, and that is about 9 hours ago roughly, and this was all the way back into the evening hours at 1931, the night before, and that was still pluming off. So that is kind of what we're seeing there right now. Let's go take a look at the other shot. This is the harbor, of course. Really hard to tell if the ice cream boat is sitting there or not. I think it's too early in the morning for ice cream anyway, and it is 5:55 a.m. For those good folks, and not good. Usually we're doing this a little bit later, so it is what it is. Close-up crater cam not showing up, and I don't think we'll see too much at this is ASO, and you can just barely see the roof edge there on this side. ASO is in there somewhere, and we really can't see it right now. I'm going to try to refresh this again. I did earlier here and couldn't see anything coming out for Suwa-no-Shijima. So their stream is down. We'll leave it back on this one and check later once it gets light for an ice cream boat. We also know we do not have Ta'al working right now, unless, let me double check that. I'm going to see if I can refresh that and see if they've got the stream running yet. It would still be fairly dark there. And no, it's not working. And we also know that our Yellowstone is still down and not showing us any video, and I'm going to double check and confirm. Yep, it's still off as well, so not much we can do there. And let's go right over to Hawaii, and there is of course Hawaii. This picture was from 5:31 Hawaii time. Let me turn that banner off. And there you can see the wonderful neon colors. I gotta love it, and I really like it when you see that at night. And I'm surprised the tow area is showing up as well as it is right there. So really cool. Anyway, lava comes in this end via a lava tube, and then we do see the occasional lighter areas. And of course, that is caused by gas bubbles bubbling up as the lava that is coming in over here is draining out in places like this, likely going into the tow area. And then you see some in the tow area as well, the lighter edges, where it may be draining out of there and draining out of the lava pond right there and here. Specifically, and this looks like a major leak, and of course, if it comes in and goes out just as quick as it comes in, it'll never refill or bring the level up, and that's kind of what we're seeing there right now. It's a pretty picture though. Let's refresh it and see what it looks like in the daylight. And there you go. That is the current shot at 10:51 a.m. Their time in Hawaii. Again, lava is coming in via a lava tube on this end. This, of course, the lava pond, as we call it, in Kilauea's crater or caldera. And there is our tow area. And nice to see that we do have a little bit higher level of lava in there again. And again, here you can see the very orangey, reddish glow spots of where the lava is draining out, and perhaps even over here where it's bubbling and doing its thing. It is break time, you're right, Piggy, and we will see what we can come up with there for a break. So I'm going to leave it there. We will look at the rest of Hawaii. Oh, hang on. No, we can't look at Hawaii yet. We'll look at the bacon seeds after the break. How about that? And then we'll look at the rest of Hawaii. And then we'll go from there. So hang in there, everyone. And don't forget to hit the like button. Of course, our target is to get over that 100 mark. If you haven't hit that like button yet to help us out, please do consider hitting it. As well as if you're new and you have not yet subscribed, consider doing that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you get notified when the streams are on. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I am going to take a little bit of a break to save my throat. And I actually had another friend tell me that my voice has changed, and he was listening to me and saying, hey, it's really changed. Are you sick? And of course I had to respond, no, I'm not. Well, I'm always sick, but I'm not sick. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. Be good, and keep smiling, you guys. And I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll have bacon seeds, and we'll go from there. And I'll be back. Be nice. Don't play in the lava. And that microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board today. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Thank you for the welcome backs. Welcome back, Keeper of the Souls. Thanks, Piggy. And thanks, John and Albert Girl and Sue and Yvonne. And Juliet is here. Welcome, Juliet. And thanks, Trev. Welcome back to the one and only. And awesome. Thanks, Kevin. And Mona Alfano also made it in. And John Raper says, I can hear you. What happened to Sharon Stewart? Grandma B says, welcome back. And hey, Arizona Snowman, thanks. And Hermione also says, welcome back. And Kananaskis. There we go. Got them all labeled. And the welcome back bunch. And love it. Anyway, I did promise bacon seeds. So let's get at those and see what we've got for today. And of course, Piggy had sent in bacon seeds. Sometimes we get a couple of duplicates here and there, but I try to change things out a little bit and work on it. And there was the last one from yesterday, so we'll continue on and fix things up here. And these ones looks like these were these the ones that were on the Mayflower, Piggy? Darn it, sorry. No worries, Piggy. It's all good. I'm absolutely okay with that. It happens. I mean, we're getting very close to 2,000 different pictures, and I mean, God, I can't remember all of them. So, anyway, these are pilgrim pigs. That's what it is. These are pilgrims, and they are pretty awesome looking, and I guess that is all part of the Thanksgiving stuff, and 'tis the season, I guess, and they are pretty awesome looking, and I like it. And next ones are, here's a witchy poo, and that's a witchy pig. Now, I've never seen a pig with green hair. That is pretty wild. I didn't know witches had green hair, but all right. We'll live with it. And yep, it is definitely a witch. And which witch is it? I don't know which witch is which, but this particular witch is a pig witch. Not a sandwich, but a pig witch. Yeah, boy, I know that's bad. Oh, Echo, the bot. Welcome, Echo, the bot. And let's, what piggy witch, but she lost her broomstick. Oh no, a piggy witch with no broomstick. We'll have to find her a new one. And next one, I don't know, this guy looks like he's trotting along. Not sure if his suit is suitable. He looks like he's maybe stretching a leg there. I have no idea what the heck that is, unless he's got an extra leg. Anyway, orange bow, a nice sweater, and I can't tell what's really a pig and what's the sweater. Really hard to tell there, and that is pretty cool. Rambo Piggy, maybe. Anyway, it looks awesome. And next one, oh, I think the sheriff is in town, and look out. You better watch what you're doing. The sheriff will get you. And he's wearing a sweater. Yep, he was. And this one is wearing a sheriff's hat. Hog. Yeah, Boss Hog. There you go. And that is pretty cool. And let's see what else we've got here. And I think this is a unicorn from the looks of it. Extra ears. Yep. Can I see your license? Yeah, it's right here between the bacon slices. Yeah, that would go over well. Oi, oi, oi. Uh-huh. Okay, so that unicorn is our second last one, and let's see what we've got for the last one. And on what unipig? It's a unipig. All right, and we got it. And here's our last bacon seed for today. And I'm not sure what kind of a Minnie Mouse that's supposed to be, but it doesn't look like a mouse at all. Mice have pointier noses. And anyway, that is it. Piggy Mouse. Yep. Mickey Mouse and Piggy Mouse. Minnie Mouse, Mini Piggy. Yeah, that could get confusing really quickly, but that is awesome. And of course, thank you, Piggy, for sending those wonderful seeds in, and we're all good with that. And we will get back over to our Hawaiian thing that we were looking at. So let's get back over there and finish that off. And there we go. That is the daytime shot of the caldera in Kilauea. And of course, that was the lava pond that we were looking at. Actually, I'll refresh it. There we go. That is right up to date, and that is pretty awesome. And nice to see. We do see the big cracks are still there. And across in here, you can see the cracking there as well. So that whole area again could be susceptible to breaking up pretty soon. And of course, this whole area out here, pardon me, that is cooled off lava. And in some places, it is up to 4 or 5 meters thick, if not thicker. And of course, that is floating on top of lava slash magma lake underneath it in the caldera. And that is really cool to see. And you know, you think about it, so well, hang on, the lava, cool lava doesn't float. Well, yeah, it does. It's not as dense. It has a lot of gas in it and stuff, and it will float. Anyway, this is 5:34 a.m. for this shot, and we see what it looked like there. You can definitely see the lava pond, a little light on the primary vent there. We don't see the little hornito there. It's hiding in the smoke. You do see the toe area. Let's refresh that and get a normal shot. And there it is during the daytime from this angle. Primary vent, hornito is there. Lava tube, of course, you can't see. It's underneath there. We still see that smoke coming up off of the fairly high areas on the crater walls here. And makes the guy wonder what is going to happen to the edges of the caldera. And I'll probably slide in. You do see Pig Island there, and you can also see the definite outline of where that lava island is. So it shows up fairly well in this picture, so not bad. Anyway, next shot is from over on this side, and that is looking this way towards the lava pond, and there it is. And there with it glowing, you can see the primary vent and the little hornito where the lava tube is. And of course the lava is entering the lava pond at this end. And then of course the toe area not quite as visible in this shot, but it is there. A couple extra spots, kind of makes you wonder what's going on there. But let's refresh that, get to a daytime shot. And again, same kind of thing there. We can see the primary vent. Hard to see the lava hornito over here, but you can see the top of the lava tube right in there, and it's that dark area. And of course, with the level being as low as it is in the pond here, definitely noticeable. That smoker over here is starting to get bigger and bigger all the time. And I'm wondering if we're going to see some lava pop out of it in the near future as well. Let's have a look at the thermal. This was from 5:28 a.m. Primary vent is right in here. There's your top of your hornito. You can actually see the lava inside, and then of course the lava tube is underneath, hiding underneath the cool lava in here, and flows into this end, and then flows in and gives it certain direction of, and drains out the back side here, as well as goes into the toe area. Let's refresh that, see what it looks like right now. And really not that much of a change, maybe a little bit lighter in consistency, but not changed too much. Primary vent, hornito, toe area, and of course looking all the way around the edges here, a little bit more noticeable with the clear area, and you see the lighter material around the edges, and of course darker in the center here where that lava is floating on top, the cool lava. And when I see cool lava, I'm sure it's still holding at quite a bit of temperature, so don't go there and grabbing it and jumping up and down on it or anything like that. And so that's it for Kilauea. Let's take a look, and this was at 5:31 a.m. That is the shot overlooking the Mauna Loa crater, the Mauna Loa caldera, and here's what it looks like right now at 11:16 a.m. Hawaii time, and it looks absolutely massive. And just imagine this thing all going off at the same time, and how much of a lava plume that would create. It would just be insane. So hopefully it won't go off all at the same time. If it did, it would definitely be considered a super eruption of some sort. Actually, is Mauna Loa considered to be a super volcano? That's a question for Yvonne or anyone else. Oh, Yvonne says, I'm going to sleep now. Oh, she's going to sleep. Okay, so she's not going to answer my question. Good night, Yvonne. Take care and sleep well. And we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. And all the best. No, just a big volcano. Okay, and I can live with that. It's a huge volcano. Anyway, and it is, I think, probably the biggest volcano there is. So from the ocean floor upward, I think it's the tallest, if I'm right. And anyway, we'll leave it there for Hawaii. And other than that, we're going to go take a look at the earthquakes in the area. And we'll have a look and see what we've got going on there. Gotta get myself on that earthquake map. And there we go, looking at what we've got for quakes. Looks like things eased up a little bit and not as intense and not as big. But let's do our Pahala area down here first. Run through these very quickly. 2.3 from yesterday at 21:23, 4.7 kilometers down for him. 2.3, and that was 4:13 a.m., 6.6 kilometers down. There's a 2.4, 11.8 kilometers down from 9:18. The one right above it here, 2.5 from yesterday, 23:07, 6.6 kilometers down. And then we've got this 2.3, yesterday's 18:08 at 34.5 kilometers down. The one just about right underneath it came in at 3:22 a.m. It's a 2.0 at 10.8 kilometers in depth. And then we've got a 1.7, and that is 16:21 yesterday. That came in, and that is, 1.7. We got that. All right. 2.2, and that is 17:18 yesterday was the time on that, 4.7 kilometers down. This guy today's at 3:10 a.m., 700 meters down, so a little shallower. and this 2.0 from 2341 yesterday, 13.5 kilometers down. Then we see a 2.9, 3:05 a.m., 12.7 kilometers down for that guy. I think we got that 1.9 from 3:10 a.m. Yeah, we did. Moving on, looking at this one, 2.2, yesterday's 22:39, 32.6 kilometers down. And then we've got a 2.2 there again, 22:29 yesterday, 32.8 clicks down. And next one is 2.7, 23:37 yesterday at 30 kilometers down. And then we've got this 1.9, it's 15:29 yesterday, 31.7 kilometers down. And this one here, 2.1, 3:11 a.m. and 31.1 kilometers down. This 2.6 from 21:14 yesterday, 30.5 kilometers down. Another 2.6 from 21:08, 31.6 clicks down. Then we see this 2.0 here from 10:52 a.m., 32.5 kilometers down. And we've got another one here, 2.0, 14:35 was the time on that one, and that was 33.2 kilometers down. Moving on, looking at this one in the water, 2.3 from 11:49 a.m. To 32.4 kilometers down for him. And then 2.2, yesterday's 19:59, and 33.5 kilometers down for him. This guy 2.3, again yesterday's 15:50, 32.3 kilometers down. This guy 2.4 from today at 10:50 a.m., 33.7 kilometers down. And 2.4, that's a good size. 2.3 on this one, 21:25 was the time on it from 31.6 kilometers down. And then we've got a 2.3 also yesterday, 21:38, 32 kilometers down. That's the Pahala area. Let's have a quick peek up on top of Mauna Loa, and we'll grab this guy over here. Should be shallower. This one 1.9 kilometer, 1.9 magnitude, 16:14 from yesterday, and it was it says minus 1.4. That means it is above sea level into the mountain, and that is what we're seeing there. So 1.4 kilometers above sea level. And then the one right in the caldera, also from yesterday, nothing new there today. Then 20:03 was the time on that. That's 1.5 kilometers above sea level, and straight underneath the caldera. So it's easing up here a little bit and getting a little quieter. And for something, is it the quiet before the storm? We kind of have to wonder. Anyway, we'll see what happens. 2.4 for that guy, 1907, 7.1 kilometers down on the side of the mountain. And then we get over here into Kilauea, and we don't see anything new in the caldera, but we do have this guy here, 2.6 from 4:47 a.m., 1.1 kilometers below sea level. And that is a Kilauea style earthquake. And there we go. Those are older ones, of course, and we're not going to worry about them. And I think that is it for Hawaiian earthquakes, and not a problem there. We'll zoom all the way out. We'll take a look and see where the biggest ones are. One that I did notice earlier, and I already checked on this one, 6.3 off the coast of, I guess you kind of push that out and be Panama or Central American anyway. 6:48 a.m. There was no tsunami associated with this, but when I seen that, I thought, okay, well, maybe there could be. But I'm kind of looking at where the fault lines are and going, okay, why do we have something shaking in the middle, or kind of the southern corner here of the Cocos Plate? And it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I would have expected that to be somewhat closer here to the fault lines, or maybe even here somewhere, but being out away from the lines a little bit. You never know. Mother Nature does her weird things, and that is what we're seeing right there. And that is a sizable quake. This one down here, Panama, 4.5 from 1253, 30.8 kilometers down. I didn't mention the depth on this one, didn't I? 10 kilometers? Yeah. In other words, they don't know. 4.2 magnitude from 845, 84.7 kilometers down on that one. This one is Mexico. Yep. 4.2, and it was at 10:43 a.m. Their time, 97.1 kilometers down. Gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on in Central America there, and hopefully I'm not going to shake too much. Not seeing too much happening over here in our wonderful Kermadec Ridge area and Fiji and all that. We do have one new one. 4.2 from yesterday, 22:25 was the time on it, and 591 kilometers down. That's a heck of a long way. And this guy here, 4.1 in Indonesia, yesterday's at 1900, 10 kilometers down, not too far away from Luolatak, and the rest of those little quakes there. One new one in the northern ends of Japan, 4.2, nothing too serious. 12:45 was the time on that one. Their local time, of course, 61.7 kilometers down. And then we see this one here, the kind of the location where the Kamchatka Peninsula and that subduction zone, as well as the Aleutian Island end, really over here. Ends up there, and that is, like I say, 4.4. Yesterday's from 1855, and that's what we've got there. We do see a couple more over here on the other side. 4.6, and that is at 1852 yesterday, 10 kilometers down, Myanmar. And then looking, this would be China, 4.9, 9:02 a.m. Their time, 10.5 kilometers down. Another one, 4.9 at 2:54 a.m. and also 10 kilometers down. And an odd one, and this one here is in Germany, 3.4. And that is, again, that's the second time we've seen one in that corner. Let's see if we can actually turn on the street map. I kind of want to see what's close to it. So it's actually not too far away from Stuttgart, and Munich is quite a ways away. Actually, it's Zurich isn't that far either. So interesting to see a quake there in Germany. Anyway, back to the satellite view. All right, and I see it is break time. What we'll do, that's our earthquakes for around the world, and what we'll do, well, we'll check on the other earthquakes in the Canary Islands, and we'll take a look at the little stuff there, as well as the volcano map, and then other things. Hermione says it's a volcano. No. It's not a volcano in Germany. There's only the Eiffel, and the Eiffel is right next door to Yvonne's house, so it's all right. She's going to have pleasant dreams, so we don't want to scare her. All right, I'm going to go take another break, you guys. Be good, be kind, stick around. More to come after the break. For those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please give it a shot. Help us out. We're trying to get over the target of 100, and we'll see what we can do. So hit that like button and thumbs up. And also, if you're new sitting on the sidelines, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And well, I've got to go now, folks. Okay, John, good night. And welcome to Alex France from Iceland. Welcome, Alex. Glad to have you on board. And I am going to go for a break. So keep smiling, be good, be kind, hit that like button, and I'll be back soon. Thanks. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. And you're back. Thank you, Dr. Fox, for all you do. And thank you, Piggy, for all those wonderful bacon seeds that you send. And I hear you. I'm not lagging this time. Excellent, Sharon Stewart. And that is good. And thanks, Arizona Snowman, and Sue Hayes, and Trevor the Winky Wonky Donkey, and Alba Girl, and Sasha, and Hermione. And thank you, everyone. I'm glad to be back here doing my thing. And of course, we had a bunny in last break. I didn't mention anything there, but also the squirrel was yelling at me, and I figured out why the squirrel hasn't been coming and getting the nuts. It's ever since I put the spider on the roof. He has not come to get any more nuts. I think he's afraid of the spider, that big spider. Mind you, we've also had that bad wind, and I can understand that with everything thrashing around up there, he may not be too confident in coming along, especially when he sees a monster the size of that spider. So, well, we'll see what happens. And, if the little guy freaks out for a little while, that's okay. Yeah, it is a large spider. I mean, yeah, it's kind of big. Yeah. 5 meters by 3 meters, or roughly about 16 feet in width, and about 10 feet or 11 feet in depth or length. So it is big. It's huge, really. I mean, if it was real, I'd be worried too. Anyway, did take a look and wanted to share with you that our ice cream boat is in. And you can see it's sitting there parked, waiting for customers. Anyway, really foggy looking there in Japan, Sakurajima, of course. Not the most pleasant day. No sunshine right now for them. But hey, that's the way it is. It happens. Weather comes in. Anyway, we were looking at our earthquakes, and Alma Girl's running down to get some ice cream. Yep, should be okay there for a few minutes anyway, and we'll see what happens. We did look at the earthquakes. I just want to get onto that screen so I can change it over to our stuff at the Canary Islands, of course. And there we see what's going on. I just want to zoom out a little and see. We do see these other quakes up top here. This one was from yesterday, 3.2, right along that fissure. And that's in between the Eurasian plate and the African plate, of course. And then we have seen a couple more small ones. That one's from the 13th. And that is yesterday's as well at 23:27. So that's what we've got up there. But let's take a look in La Palma and see what we have for new ones. And I really don't think it was a very busy place today. And I am very right. There is only one brand new one. And you see right where that star is flashing, there's a 1.2 from 3:01 a.m. And it is right up on the ridge. Kind of, I don't know what you want to call that area, but that is definitely up on that ridge. Originally, well, we know Cumbre Vieja is about here, so to see that kind of makes you wonder. And I'm kind of a little bit curious about this, because this really does look like a crater wall. It really does. And that means this would have been the caldera of a volcano at one point in time, and we don't see the other side to it. So that would have been massive. That would have been a very, very large volcano way back in the day. And of course, La Palma is somewhere around between 4 million and 6 million years old. So kind of makes you wonder what exactly happened to the other portion of it. and that would be really interesting to find out. So this one would have been a first volcano there, and then this, of course, would have been the second one, since that wiped out the other portion of it and flowed out this way. Very neat, very interesting stuff, and always, you learn little bits and pieces as you go along studying these things, and there's always so much new stuff that comes along that you find out from history, and it is really amazing to see what we've had there before and the changes that the planet has gone through. So pretty awesome. Anyway, that is it for our earthquakes. Let's have a look at our volcano map. I'm going to refresh that, and we will take a look and see what we've got going on there. Really nothing majorly new, and at least not that I seen when I looked at it earlier. We do still have our two listed here on Iceland, of course, Askja and Grimsvatn. And of course, you see the two here in the Azores, Terceira as well as Seo George, and those are there for sure. And looking at most of our other stuff, looking pretty normal for the most part around the Ring of Fire. I don't see anything really new there. They're showing some of the older quakes on this map. And this one was some yesterday, which is technically 2 days ago now for them. 4.6, we've seen that. White Owl Volcano still there. Taupo still doing its thing. And Tofua and Home Reef Volcano still working away. Yasur, our longest running volcano on the planet that we know of. And it is over 870 years now, I think, is that they were saying it was running. I don't know who actually documented that, but that's been going for a while. And Aoba is the one that's throwing out a lot of SO2. And of course you got this Gawa, if I said it right, is the other volcano there. And everything here in Papua New Guinea area looks pretty normal. Same thing with what we've got in Indonesia, including Abu and Dakono. And I see here's a new addition. There's something. Mayon and Bulasan. Bulasan back on the map. So that's going to be interesting to see what this duo does. But they are both yellow still, and that is going to be very, very interesting. Anyway, Taal is still an orange, and no, it's not an orange, it's orange rating, but I wouldn't mind an orange right now. Suwanosi Jima and Sakura Jima is still there. And actually this guy here, Nishimo Shima, in the islands here, also doing its thing, still present and accounted for. And here's a new addition. Well, we seen that yesterday. Chikarachki is back, and Chikarachki is definitely an orange. Again, I wouldn't mind one. Ibiko and Alade there as well. And of course, Karimsky, Bezimiani, and Shivalish up on the upper ends here. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now in that area. And going over, don't see anything too new. We still have our Erebus down here in the Antarctic. And then Hearn Island volcano right there, and Piton de la Formes volcano in La Reunion Island, and that is there. And pretty much everything else is the same. Urta Ale still considered a red and erupting. and Etna is still orange, and Volcano. And I was watching Volcano again today, a little bit more off-gassing from it. It's pretty steady with what it's doing, and at least it's not erupting. Those people just down the hill from there are probably glad of that as well. And Stromboli is still a red, and of course Stromboli has eased up a whole bunch, which is really, really good. So that is kind of it for today. And how come that guy's there? Oh, that's that 6.3 that we seen on the Cocos plate right there. So that is all right. And that's kind of it for there. We'll pop over and take a look at doing some weather right away. What did Wonky Donkey say? The real reason is you now have a bicycle clip on, and the squirrel can't get up. Two bicycle clips, Wonky Donkey. Two, yeah. And that is important. Oh, bad. Anyway, let's get over to the weather stuff. Let's go have a look and see what our wonderful stuff is happening there. Let me refresh that. I think that might still be old. There we go. And that looks a little more up to date. All right. So there we go. North America, pretty neat looking. That jet stream bending way up and then coming way down, and that is I don't know if that's good or bad, but we see the air is cleared out there in the northern portions of Canada anyway, from the SO2 that we were seeing there, and still the regular stuff though happening in most of it. Nothing unusual there. Same thing goes for the US. And if we zoom in a little bit into Central American areas, we see that the wind currents here are kind of odd, and that is blowing out into the Pacific from Mexico and Popocatépetl, Mexico City, that is, and that is then being returned as it swings around. Different weather patterns, and we see this circulation here in Arizona going the opposite way, drawing up some of that warmer air and probably blowing that into Texas and our that would be oh, hang on, New Mexico. There we go, got it. Anyway, going down, we see that the stuff coming off of Colombia here is starting to move out into the Pacific as well. And looking down the coast here in Chile, we see it moving out, but we also see a couple of reversed circulations here where it's pushing it back over the continent and trying to push it all the way out into the Atlantic, sliding over a little bit. And here are those monster designs that have been drifting around, and they were here yesterday, and now they're down on the bottom end of Australia and coming up to New Zealand. We do see this, and that is from White Isle Volcano. And then, of course, the spot here is from the refineries just outside of Melbourne. This is from the coking plants north of Sydney. And when we go out here, Tofua still producing this. We don't see anything from Home Reef Volcano beside it. I don't know what it's doing as of late. And Vanuatu still producing its SO2 as normal, and the same thing goes for what we're seeing in Papua New Guinea. Luolatok still working away. Ibu and Dakono are there. Semeru, Merapi and Krakatau right in there, but Jakarta is also helping with producing a lot of that darker material. And going up here a little bit more, and of course we had the extra Bulusan as well as Mayon over here, but we're not seeing so much SO2 from there. And even when we zoom in here, we're not seeing a heck of a lot of SO2. What the heck is that? Get rid of that. I'm not seeing a lot of SO2 coming off of Taal. Most of it is actually coming off of Manila. And people population, or pollution, there we go. And of course, this circulation here, drawing all that stuff down out of China, giving everybody bad gas down there. Sliding up a little bit more, and looking here, Suwanoshijima is definitely still off-gassing, throwing out a bunch of SO2, as well as Sakurajima, which is located right about where that camera is. And going up a little bit more, people pollution in some of those other areas. And of course, we've got all three here now that are doing their thing. Chikarachki and Ibiko, and of course Alade, and they're working hard to keep up to Korimsky and Bezimiani and Shivlish up on the rest of the peninsula there, and you can see the end result forming a pretty nasty SO2 cloud out here in the Pacific Ocean, northern portions of it. Very nasty in China. Also looking at what we're seeing in Indonesia, in India, I mean, not very good there. Sliding back down, having a look at South Africa. Yep, they're still smelting the gold and platinum stuff down there. And going up a little more, we see DR Congo, a couple volcanoes and some coking plants producing that. And Urta Ale would be right in here, and very hard to differentiate from the other pollution produced by the other plants that are here, or oil refineries. Very dirty stuff, of course. And we know there's refineries here and there in Kuwait. Saudi Arabia has a bunch, and Kuwait, of course, as well as Iraq. Moving over a little bit more, and getting over here, Mount Etna is continuing to give off a bunch of SO2, as well as our good friend Stromboli. And like I mentioned before, Volcano has a little bit of that throwing out there as well. So that is our SO2 report. Very little coming from our Icelandic area, so that's all good. And I'm looking at the time here and wondering if I should maybe take a break before I go do this final portion of the weather, since this one does take a little bit of time, and it will definitely run into the break. Anyway, we'll start it out anyway. We'll do North America real quick here. So we can see the colder areas, Alaska, northern portions of Canada are quite cold, but we do see the warm weather pushing back in a little bit and trying to make a rebound. We're actually supposed to get 22 degrees Celsius here tomorrow, which is, I'm looking forward to that. And we see the cutoff line is kind of the Alberta border. Saskatchewan a lot cooler, and then when you get into Manitoba, I don't even want to talk about those cold temperatures, -4, -5, even up in northern Ontario, sliding down though into the bottom end of Ontario. We see 13, 14, depending on where we are, 12 in Toronto, and even along the St. Lawrence Seaway here, Montreal coming in at about 12, and yeah, that's how you say it in French, right? Montreal. Anyway, Labrador, Newfoundland, and right around that 10-degree mark, not bad. And for the most part, the same thing goes for Newfoundland itself. Looks a little warmer in New Brunswick and a lot warmer in Nova Scotia. So Not bad. I bet you Sue was having a wonderful time there in the rain showers. PEI and everything looking a little bit better. And yeah, I think I'm going to take the break right here, right now. We'll do the United States after the break and the rest of the world, and then we'll do our thing. So gonna throw you back onto the canned lava, not into the canned lava, but back in on there. And I better check that can is gonna start getting empty soon. Yep, actually, let's back that up just a little bit. There we go. And that'll work. Debbie Brady renewed. Happy Sunday, all. Thanks, Dr. Fox. Thank you for renewing that membership, Debbie. I appreciate that. And fall is my favorite time of the year. Yeah, it falls right into the abyss of winter. I know, that's bad. Anyway, for all those good people here, if you have not hit that like button, please. We're 5 away from making our goal of 100. That would really, really be awesome if we could get that achieved by the end of the show here today. But right now I am going to go for a break because my voice needs to. Otherwise, it'll sound like this afterwards. So don't go away, and we'll be back and we'll wrap it up and have a look around afterwards and see if there's anything else we need to talk about. So keep smiling, don't go away, and more to come. I'll be back. Hit that like button. Thanks. And there we go. I've got the microphone back on, and let's see what's going on here. Couple people gifted some memberships. Grandma B gifted one, and Kevin Haynes. Got to write it down, you guys. Thanks for the welcome backs. I am back, so welcome and welcome back for all of you that are here. And that is awesome. I see we did get up to the 100 mark. And I don't see who got those, but just want to mention yesterday at the beginning of the stream, I did gift 5, and I just got credited back for mine. Ken Wilson was gifted the one membership there from Kevin Haynes, so we know who got that one, and that is awesome. And not sure where the other one from Grandma B went, and we'll see. And that's what would happen if nobody is issued the gift. You will end up getting a refund, just so you guys know that. At least that's been happening to me and a few other people as well. So pretty awesome. And thanks for renewing their Oh Mummy of Hamsters. Glad that is on there. And I wanted to say thanks for the welcome backs from Sue and Hermione and Oz and Sasha and Colin and Kevin, and I think I got everybody. Okay, that is all cool. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I tried to do my part there to throw in a few memberships myself, but I didn't see any. Anyway, nice to see that the likes are at 102 on my screen, so that is awesome and really cool. And we will get back and finish off our wonderful weather and have a quick peek at that. I'm going to pause that lava. Wow, I like having the power just to stop a volcano as it's just bubbling. So pretty awesome. And there we go. So let's get back to the weather. We wanted to take a look at the United States next. We kind of covered Canada already, and that is cool. So yeah, Canada is cool. Get it? Cool. It's cold in some places. Anyway, looking at the western portions of the United States, Montana, Washington, Idaho, those areas, Oregon, California, and of course Nevada, and even here in, I guess, Utah, and it looks a little colder in Wyoming though, but it's still reasonable, and of course that's where Yellowstone is. And they are 10, 11, 12 degrees depending on where you're standing. Higher elevations, of course, so a little bit cooler. But we do have some really nice temps in California. And Sue brought up Death Valley, 34 degrees Celsius. And that would be somewhere in here. And of course, on the place I kind of checked down here, Mexicali, 27 degrees, a little bit cooler there. And not quite as hot in Phoenix, Arizona today, which is probably a nice reprieve for those guys. And we see that high sitting here in New Mexico, bringing that colder air in and dumping it in. And Flagstaff, of course, Flagstaff up a little higher in elevation, is showing about 9-10 degrees Celsius. The rest of the areas aren't too bad. And sliding over a little bit more, we'll leave New Mexico be. A portion of the northwestern part of Texas is a little bit on the cool side as well, but the other areas looking pretty darn warm yet at 30, 34, 35 degrees, depending on where you are. Houston coming in at 32, a little bit warmer right around it though, 32 in San Antonio, that kind of thing. Moving a little bit further to the east and going through Mississippi, Louisiana, those places, Arkansas, not bad weather. And getting into the other places like Alabama, not bad. And then the Florida Panhandle here, and down in Florida, they've got some warmer temperatures again, which is really nice. I'm glad to see they warmed up a little bit. Georgia also showing a lot warmer weather, as well as South Carolina and North Carolina. So Raleigh, if I said it right, Raleigh, 24 Celsius, not bad. Moving up, and of course the Appalachian Mountains here, definitely a little bit cooler in the higher elevations, as we can see. So that's kind of what we're battling against, I guess, if you want to call it that. Baltimore coming in at 16, Philadelphia 16, 17, New York about the same, 17, Boston holding in at about 14, 15. And the upper state portions, though, are a little bit on the colder side. Maine down into the single digits up on the top end, but coastal regions are, well, they're a lot better. If you're in that cold area, of course, this whole cold section, you don't want to be there. It's not good. And of course, Sue is out there basking in the sunshine, and we like that. That's a lot warmer there. Anyway, let's go down a little further south, and Mexico warming up again, which is really nice. Cancun coming in at 29 today, a little bit warmer than normal, and we see the Caribbean still doing very nice, and going all the way through Central America, not bad, even though they've got some very stormy weather going on down there. And Amazon, Brazil, and those other areas doing a lot better. Very good temperatures all the way down here into Argentina as well, all the way down. A lot warmer stuff. Some cold, this high out here twirling around, throwing some cold air right on the coastline though, so not so pleasant. Even Uruguay has warmed up a little bit as well. Again, same kind of thing. They are getting kind of mixed air. There's also a system sitting right off the coast here that's causing probably some storm stuff. And Rio de Janeiro, 21 degrees right now. Sao Paulo, 20 degrees. So not too bad. Sliding over a little bit and taking a look at New Zealand real quick. And they are reasonable temperatures, a little colder on the west side of the South Island because of the extra cold being brought up. This high is not helping any, and the low, of course, encouraging that cold air to go up. And North Island, though, looks really nice and very warm for the time of year, so not too bad. And here's that high that is sitting there, making Tasmania very cold. Single digits again today for the most part. Just a couple of spots where they're actually getting above 11 degrees. Coming in about 9-10 degrees there in Melbourne. Going up to Adelaide, I'm getting up to about 13 there, and 16 in Sydney. And home of Oz showing about 20 degrees Celsius, so not bad there. Hobart, 11 degrees, thanks, Sue. And that is down, that's down on the bottom here. Hobart, and 10, it says 10 on the map here, but 10, 11, very close. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. And seeing the western portions of Australia still quite cool here, and Perth only about 11 as well. Warmth starting to rebuild in the northern portions of Australia, which is probably a good thing. And we'll get into our Malaysian, Indonesian area, and the Philippines. We do see this. What do they call it? Nasat, that storm, and that is causing all kinds of havoc there. Bangkok coming in at about 24 degrees, and thanks to an 88% relative humidity. So that is still quite humid. They do have circulation here. That'd be a low in here as well, kind of a double low, if you will. And I bet you we got some storms happening in there also. So yeah, this looks like it might really be zipping along here in the area between Taiwan and mainland China. And yeah, Yellow Sea, actually not that cold there. I thought it'd be colder. And East China Sea right there. Sea of Japan, mixed weather in there, and we see the differences, kind of a shear line almost going through it as well. Japan itself, not overly warm, but warmer than yesterday for the most part. Still fairly cool up in the north. And looking at what we've got going on here, that low was being really nasty, pulling all that cold air down from up there and recirculating it. And we see we've got a high sitting on top of the Kamchatka Peninsula. And yeah, some of those higher elevations are bitterly cold, just way too cold. I don't want that temperature. I want to move away from there. Anyway, looking at India, we do see they've got relatively moderate nighttime temperatures right now. South end of Africa looking a lot warmer than what it usually is, which is probably good. And Madagascar, still the higher elevations on the east side are a little bit on the cool side, but a lot nicer and more temperate on the western portions there. Going in through Africa, we know the rainforest area would be in the middle here, and that's probably where it's cooling it off a little bit more, but Sahara still showing very dry and fairly dry over here as well, I think. We'll see. Cairo coming in at about 21, 22 degrees. A lot cooler in UAE as well as Oman and Yemen and those places. Even the Saudi Arabia here, not hitting that 30-degree mark. And same thing goes for Iraq. Iran cooling off a lot more. And going up into Turkey, we see it's a bunch different than there in Turkey, a lot colder. And hopefully, well, here's that low that's sitting in here. That may be what's drawing down that weather for Piggy, since she got some rain there in Kos. And of course, Kos, 21 right now according to the map. We'll check and see what Piggy's weather is actually saying right now. So the island of Kos in Greece, 19 degrees is what it says. And fair with winds 14 miles per hour, 23 kilometers an hour. We do see the rest of Greece has got some colder air blowing in the middle of it. Coastlines are still a little bit warmer. And of course, this time of year, you're going to see that higher elevations are going to be colder down by the wonderful warmer Mediterranean waters. You'll see it'll be warmer there, of course. And that is kind of consistent with all of Italy and New Monkland right there, Sardinia. And of course, Milano coming in at 16 degrees. I'm surprised it's still that high there. Pretty nice. And looking at Spain for the most part, and Portugal, not bad. Oh, I hear you, Squirty. I don't know if you guys heard that, but he's out there. He's in the tree yelling at me, telling me to get that spider off the roof. Looking at France, they've got some very nice temperatures for this time of year, and even in Germany it has warmed up a little bit for the most part until you get up further in the north. and you can see 12 at Berlin, Hamburg coming in 11. Not bad here in Holland and Belgium, and man, even a few Lux would be out there having a nice temperatures right now there. Looking at the bottom end of England and a portion of Wales, not bad temperatures, but I've got a sneaky hunch this low is dumping a whole bunch of moisture in that area. So we'll see what it's doing. Irish Monkland around 11 degrees where he lives, and of course 10, 11 for the most part in Ireland, and get up into North Ireland a little bit cooler. Same thing with Scotland. They're down to some low single digits in some places, and that's kind of what we see there. Southern end of Sweden, and not too bad. 10 degrees in Stockholm. Oslo coming in at about 5 or 6. And if we go over here, Riga 13, that is pretty awesome. Leningrad, or St. Petersburg, if you want to call it that, is 11 degrees. And then looking at the rest of the area, we see very cold temps up in the northern portions of Sweden and Norway, and some getting into Finland there as well. Quick peek into our Icelandic area. Reykjavik, what is the weather there? Coming in at about 3 degrees, 4 degrees maybe, and we see that cold air from the north pushing in, and our Ragnar will be too cold. We need a big volcano. Somebody get a volcano, and yeah, I think that squirrel can't handle that hammer. That's why we've got that problem. Anyway, let's take a look at precipitation now, and we'll run through that real quick. There we go. We see that these lows off of Alaska are definitely throwing some colder moisture in there, and the Alaskan coast, of course, on the southern end and the western side, getting a mix of snow and rain, of course. And then looking at what we see here in northern Ontario, more flakiness, and that's actually getting all the way down into Minnesota. So somebody's getting snow, and it's a snow job, it's not mine. Southern end of Ontario, not bad, but around the Great Lakes, showers going on there. And quick peek, actually it wouldn't be bad for Sioux, a few rain showers in that area, but it does look like there's that low sitting out here, and not Nova Scotia, Newfoundland is getting some of that moisture. Moving into the U.S., and we see most of the U.S. upper portions of the western states are dry looking. I do see down here in Arizona, and we did see some of that rain from yesterday, as well as still this morning going through there, and we see some of those storms are doing their thing. And New Mexico, some rain, some snow, and some higher elevations. Northern portions of Texas, where it was cooler, is definitely getting a mix of everything there. And southern portions of Texas are not so bad. As we move over, though, take a look, and we see down here a little bit heading up towards New Orleans and those areas along the coast, some intermittent stuff. Looks like the Florida Keys may be getting a little bit of moisture right now, as well as the bottom end, but no large organized storms, which is probably good. And then we see this streak in here, and that is going all the way from Tennessee all the way out to Virginia, and everything in between. So a little bit of rain there, but the southern states look not bad for the most part. So that warm temp is going to hold in there. Looks like northern portions of Mexico are drying up, and we do see the bottom end, though, looking like they're getting a pile of rain. Same thing goes through Central America, and they're going to see some more of that. Our equatorial storm is basically rebuilding itself, and seeing what's going on in the rainforests of Brazil and of course Venezuela and Colombia and Peru and those places. Definitely continuing there, sliding down a bit more. We see off the coast of the bottom end of Brazil, there's some weather coming there. Sao Paulo again getting more moisture, and it stops kind of there at Buenos Aires. Is not seeing any of it. Uruguay, I'm also not seeing too much of it. A little bit here in the mountains in Chile, but not too bad. A big long shear line from that low, and looking at that snow down there, not good. Don't like it. Anyway, here's our New Zealand. A little bit of rain here and there, not bad. Up on the northern tip of that peninsula, though, they are getting some rain up there. Not really, really bad, though, from the looks of things. Tasmania, still getting some rain. We got that nasty circulation going on there. That's a high pressure zone pulling up that colder air. And, of course, the hot and cold air mixing create the rain. You know, that's really what it does. That moisture in the air will just get drawn out. This is really odd circulation here. You can't tell if that's a high or low developing right in here. It really looks weird. But it is raining in those areas, and I'm sure the people in Australia aren't going to mind having a little bit of rain here and there. That is always nice. Looks like possibly some rain in Brisbane as well. So pretty cool. And actually, let's check out here. We see these highs out here. So our Fiji area and those areas, intermittent showers, not bad. Papua New Guinea looking like they've got a lot of fog and stuff, but they have those storms going on as well. And there you go, all through Indonesia and Malaysia and everywhere. Definitely getting those nasty rains and storms going through. Here's that Nisat, if I pronounced it correctly, but that is sitting there just north west of the Philippines, doing its thing south of Taiwan, and we go up, and here's what we're seeing going through Japan. A whole line of rain, and that might not be a bad thing, but it is there. And we also see that 91W out here. Kind of wonder what that's going to do in the future. And then here's another one of these lines caused by that low up here, where it's drawing everything in, and that is causing some more rain and snow for everybody there. Kamchatka Peninsula, a little bit of snow on the north, and then we've got a low sitting off the coast there, drawing down the Siberian air. Looking at what we see here in the Bering Sea, and ice rain and snow for the most part in those areas. Sliding over a little bit more, looking at what we've got in India. Down in the bottom end, we are seeing that it is getting into Sri Lanka and definitely on the southern portions of India. Pretty awesome to see that, and I'm glad that they've got some rain coming. It is their rainy season, and not too much on Madagascar, and intermittent spots throughout Africa, and of course here heavier rains, and we've got a jungle area in here, so that's kind of what we've got going on. And looking at Piggy's area, we see, of course, Turkey has got a bunch of rain happening in it, and down here in the southern portions of the Mediterranean, we've got that happening as well. and that is drawing down some of that moisture from up north, and hopefully Piggy will get some more rain. She really does want some of it. And Crete, of course, being there, it's getting some rain as well. And looking at Italy and Sicily, fog, and New Monkland, Sardinia, also some fog, not bad there. And then we take a look at Spain and Portugal, and that weather system finally got in there, and it's getting the western portions of that area very, very wet. And not that much in France yet, and not much in Germany and Holland. It doesn't look like Belgium is getting too much. Luxembourg looks dry yet, and looking at England and Wales and Scotland looks dry, but Ireland definitely got a bunch of stuff going on. There's some heavy-duty rain going through there, and I'm sure that low is going to continue on moving through here and bring that weather with it. So if you're in England, and you better get ready for some downpours, some more of them, as that system moves through and pulls up more of that stuff. You got another low sitting behind it, and that'll probably get pulled up that way as well. So just be prepared for it. Get your rubber boots out. And looking at Sweden, and we see some of the colder rains there, and of course snow in the higher elevations and the bottom end of Norway. And then we look at what's in Finland, and holy mackerel, not good. Ice rain up in the top end, but yep, I don't think I want to be in Finland right now. Even Iceland. I don't think I want to be in the snowflakes, and that is what we're seeing there. And I really have to say thank you, Mother Nature, for keeping our skies clear and no snow so far. I'm very, very pleased with that. We here in Alberta have actually, here in Edmonton, are actually having a reasonable year so far. You know, we did have a full summer, and now we actually have fall, which is really, really nice to see. So that's kind of a good thing. Anyway, looking at what I refer to as the equatorial storm, it definitely is there, going all the way across the globe, and always nice to see that. Means that the weather systems are all still working and the planet is still turning, and that's always a bonus. Okay, time to find the coldest temperature on the planet, and that is usually down here somewhere in our very, very cold south pole region, and of course Antarctica is what we refer to. I got a minus 67 already. I'm going to look around a little bit more though here. There's got to be something colder than that. I'm going to have at least 5 ice cubes out of this instead of 4. And 66, no, I'm not there. 61, let's see, no, too warm. And what about over here? Nothing colder. No, I don't see anything colder. Let's go back over here and take a look and see if we can find that cold spot. Minus 66, 67. If we zoom in this area, there's got to be something colder. No, I think I'm going to be it for minus 67 degrees Celsius right now. That's all I can see, and that is plenty cold for me anyway. And Sue beat me. She found a minus 68 degrees Celsius. So, Sue, you are the winner of the free trip to Antarctica. They'll drop you off on one of the icebergs on the shore there, and you're welcome to stay there for as long as you can stand it. Oh, anyway, great stuff, and thanks for locating that. No thanks, too cold. Oh, come on, it's a free trip. You'd like it. Oh, even the penguins would be happy to come along with you. Oh, too much fun. And yeah, I don't think, you know, there's a lot of, yeah, Bermuda instead. Yeah, that might be something. Uh, what? Just don't smash the dummy. Okay, well, be good. Even a free trip, I'm not going. Yep, the penguins would welcome you. Anyway, on those friendly notes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to wrap up the show. And a little bit of fun there. And we do see what's going on around the world. And we know our volcanic stuff is fairly quiet right now. Unfortunately, we're not seeing super large eruptions anywhere or anything. I do have something that we do want to join back in on, and this is something of interest. And here we go before we wrap it up. And I just checked on my earthquakes, and wow, here in Iceland offshore, that little cross area that we have some pretty big quakes happening there right now. So before we wrap this up, we have a, oh, hang on, let's click on that one. A 4.38, 13.7 kilometers down, happened at 22:11. And there's other ones, 3.94, 6.9 kilometers down. 2205, and then a ton of other ones in here. We're not going to go through all of them. 2.9, 5.7 clicks down. We've got a 2.6, 2207. So definitely something shook loose. 6.7 kilometers down for that 2.6. And the number jumped. It almost doubled from what we had to what it is and now. And look, there's a whole bunch of other quakes off shore here as well. Holy mackerel, what's going on? Iceland is a shaking, and that wasn't there before. We don't see anything new up in the top end. But certainly down on the bottom end, and I'm glad I checked that before we left. So that is definitely a way to stop the show for a little bit here. And wow, 4.38, and that is a fairly big quake. And I'm wondering if it shows up on the other maps, and not on that one yet. Let me see if I can get over and change that over to the other one, and take a look there. We are not seeing it on the USGS map. What about the other one here? If we refresh this and see if they are showing something new on this one, and they are. So definitely confirming that they have a bunch of new ones. 4.1 is what they are calling it, and the other map says it's a 4.3. But I'll definitely live with that. We know it's well over 4, and that is incredible to see. So that is going to be the show for today, you guys. And that being offshore, that is actually quite a ways out. It is not LD over here, LD volcano, so we know it's not that one, and it's quite a ways out. I thought it was across here at first, but no, it's way out. So that is kind of the on the Rikens Ridge is where we're seeing it. So all good, and we can take a look at the rest of the stuff tomorrow, and I'll definitely keep an eye on this. and see what happens in the future. So be good, everyone, and keep smiling, and take care of yourselves, and all that nice stuff. Of course, we did not have any super chats today at all. We did have two free memberships gifted by Grandma B, and one from Kevin Haynes. And I didn't see the one from Grandma B going to anyone, but that is there. Is there an underwater volcano there, Doc? No, the one that I just pointed out was the one that we were, this one here, right there, LD. LD is the closest one. And this is just the tectonic break area, I guess, if you want to call it that. So, hang on. Let me get back on that map for a second. Whoop, wrong map. Click over there. There we go. So LD is right here. This is LD, and that is not too far away. That's about 10 kilometers out. This is probably about 20-25 kilometers out, just so you can see it. You can't see? No, LD, right here. Let's zoom in on LD. LD, and there's the island. There's LD. Okay, and that's about 10 clicks out, I think, or something like that. Anyway, that is quite a distance from the end of the peninsula, so hopefully that will kind of let you know. Anyway, that's it for today's show, you guys. So thanks everyone for being here, and like I say, thanks for the gifting the memberships from Grandma B and Kevin Haynes. Appreciate that, you guys, and do appreciate all the members in here, and every last one of you. So thank you very kindly for being here. And oh, did we forget a volcano? We forgot Etna, didn't we? And I didn't go over to Etna. I'll wrap this up with Etna is at nighttime, but let's throw this on as we get out the door, and maybe I'll get a couple more likes out of this, and that would be good. That, of course, being the time lapse that I created, and I don't think we looked at it, so I just thought, okay, we better, and that would be pretty cool. Anyway, thanks everyone for being here, all the membership and the Lava family, all of you. I really do appreciate having you on board, and hope everyone enjoyed the show today. And also a big thank you to our moderators, from to Arizona Snowman, Piggy, Piggy, and I'll send you an email, Piggy, if you're still awake, and we'll see what we can talk about there. And then also thanks to CND Boy and Gary, 24/7 Live, he's at Skies, and any of the other mods that were in the background as well. So very, very big thanks, and do appreciate it. And on that note, yeah, you can see that weather moving in right around noontime there at Etna, and I just figured since I made that time lapse, I should show it. It only takes 4 hours to make one of those, right? And it doesn't do any good if it just sits there. Anyway, that's the clouds moving in, and that's all we got. So there you go, guys, and that is it for our wonderful show today. Be good, be kind, take care, everyone, and most of all, make sure that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and we'll bid you all a very good night. And of course, we'll be back on regular weekday times tomorrow. So take care, and oink oink.